At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Somebody doing a barbecue, is it?
It is actually that they have actually coming off.
Alright, let's go. Follow your way. You can shot now.
Going 8 behind. Naomh Naille going 9 behind. They all come back with 2-pointers, but Gaoth steadied the ship and came through against Glenfin. But St Naomh's in their opening match going down to 4 Masters in a very low scoring game. So both teams coming in here with different form, but certainly the pressure's more on the home side.
Yeah, well, definitely the pressure's the home side. To you need to get 2 points today or you're in trouble. If you're 0 points after your first 2 games, you're in trouble. So the home game team is always, the advantage. You see they're wearing their away strip, where the away team Gaoth are wearing the green and white with the clash of colours and everything else. So yeah, looking forward to it. Perfect evening for football. And it's interesting to see. You take a team like St Naomh's, they have 3 county men. So if you have 3 county men, you have to be considered. You only need 12 more players really to make a team, which makes a big difference and a big help. So I know that affects them in the league especially, and that's probably why they're in Division 3, because they don't have them playing in the league. But from a championship point of view, they're definitely going to be a different team, and I think they really did put it up to 4 Masters, who are the team that maybe people are looking to. And I know there's great rivalries in the 2 clubs and everything else. So yes, you're exactly right, Brendan. Home advantage has to be an advantage. This is where they're trained every week and every day, and the free takers and things like that especially make a difference. So looking forward to it, and even the likes of Naomh Naille, it's great to see him laying out at full forward, how he performs in Old Ronan as the manager with Francie Friel and that. So it's a game we look forward to, and then how the county players fit in as well. Brendan McCall, will they play him full back or will they move him out to midfield and maybe go with young Prendeville at full back, who was in the county on the 20 team full back the year. So give some options up the middle, when you can play Brendan McCall, Prendeville, and then you have Pater Morgan and these players, and then you have Stephen Griffin going well at full forward. You have like Stuart Johnson, who I had at underage myself way back them years, and he was a brilliant footballer and great worker. So they have a lot of good players, and maybe lack a wee bit of belief. The fact that the difference is really, Brendan, that they're playing Division 3 football against a team that's played Division 1, and so you're playing against the Unions and the Connells and these teams. It is an advantage going into Championship.
Yeah, certainly. Martin, listen, just on that, obviously they finished 13 Division 2, they're down to 3 now, but is it about Championship, when you say that, pulling the team together, particularly, we're on about county players, but Mulroney's and goals, but really Morgan and McCall are right up there with the best players in the country. Their effect on this team. So is it a question now just forgetting about what happened in the league and really come in and be a danger in the Championship? And as you said, a lot expected from 4 Masters. So for the sounds of the game, when you look at it took St Naomh's a while to settle. But I think the second half they probably played the better football, so it'll give them good encouragement going in here today against Gaoth.
Oh, exactly, Brendan. And the thing is, with 4 Masters, they had no player on the county squad, so that's a big difference from their point of view, because they were playing together all year, and that's a win advantage playing Division 1, as I said as well. And where St Naomh's have been without them players, so it's understandable it'll take them a game getting back the county men. You don't have much time, particularly when Donegal went to the All-Ireland final the year. You don't have much time to get the players back and get them bedded into the setup and everything else. So from that point of view, this second game should be a help. And as you said about the 2 players, Gavin Rain's sub-keeper, and Sean Patton, as you worked with him, he's an exceptional keeper and up to the top keepers in Ireland. So being understudied him is not bad, and
yes.
How good Rainey can get up.
He's done well when he came in.
Yeah, and he's done really well, because it's not an easy job going in, because everybody's saying, so for Sean Patton, so a lot of pressure on him. And if you look at it then, the other 2 players, both of them are in line for All-Stars a year again and fighting for All-Stars, so that's the level they're at. Yeah. So I think you made a great point there, Brendan. It's going to take them 1 game at least to get going. So I'd say if you're playing them in the 4th game or the 3rd or 4th game, they'll definitely be a better team than we've seen the first day out. So you have to give them a fighting chance. year. They now Gaoth, and saying that, have a lot of quality players about them, and a lot of players in the right position. And we know the way a Gaoth player thinks and feels, or a Gaoth person. The way they look at it. They're winners, and they feel they want to be there, and they feel that they're going to put it up to other teams.
Yeah, Martin, you just look at Gaoth. I suppose semi-finalists last year, the final the season before. From a team that has some huge transition, lost a lot of players, they've regrouped. You'd have to say, Ronan McNeely's doing a fantastic job there, because very competitive last year. Newlands very lucky to beat them in many ways in the semi-final. Darragh Boyle, that late chance to equalise the game. If you're looking at it from a neutral, going into extra time, you'd probably say it might have been advantage Gaoth. So, he's really made the best of what he can, and he's moulded a team there now, and they are a dangerous team all over. And we were just talking about Ethan Harkin. Martin, you were mentioning just off mic there about his positioning, and with the new rules, he's coming from deep, and he's a dangerous man then on the loop and coming from range, because if he hits form, Martin, he's as good a forward there is.
Yeah, and I think the thing about him is they probably felt when he's up front he's been marked very tight and everything else. I know now, as you said, the new rules will suit him, but it was a master stroke to put him back, wing half back, and give him that freedom. And it's harder to mark a player at wing half back, because you have to, especially the new rules and everything else, you have to let him go, and he can kick the 2-pointers, and he'll kick points from far out the field, particularly if a slight breeze behind him. So yeah, it's a good move, and it's a good thing to do. But I think that you said they've got quality all over, and they big belief in themselves now. I know I was chatting to a Gaoth man there before the game, and he was saying about how many players that are away, and a lot of lads back and make a big difference to them. But they do lose a lot of players as well, because like all parts of the thing, there's somebody said there's more people was watching the All-Ireland final, Donegal people away from home than nearly was in Donegal for the All-Ireland final. Sure. And I think you look at it, and a lot of them would be the likes of Gaoth, the whole way down the west coast. Like, there's a lot of people away, and a lot of teams, including my own, you're suffering with numbers because of so many people going away. Yeah,
there's Kevin Cass standing, and we're just going to stop now for that national anthem. Yes, folks, we just had the national anthem, and I was just saying Kevin Cass is stepping across the pitch here. Of course, a Gaoth stalwart indeed, and he must be involved in the backroom team there. I didn't know that. An experienced man to have in and around the teams. I'll just give you the teams now. Gavin Mulroney is in nets for the home team, St Naomh. We have Ryan McColgan, number 2, Brendan McCall, of course, a county man, number 3, Hugh Campbell, number 4, Martin Breslin, number 5, Niall Prentival, 6, and John Rose, 7, making up that defence. Number 29 playing at midfield is Barry Griffin. We have Leo McBurdy as well in there. Sorry, Barry Griffin's at 7, Leo McBurdy's 29. We have a couple of number changes there. 10 is Stuart Johnson, 11 is Pater Morgan, 12 Thomas White, 13 Ian Campbell, 14 Stephen Griffin, former manager, is in the full forward line, and 15 Joe Campbell makes up that 15 for the men from St Naomh's. Patrick McGillivray is in nets for the Gaoth men. Neeson McGillivray is number 2, Gary McFadden 3, and Eamon McGillivray number 4. 25 and playing at right half back is Aidan Branagh. Number 6 is Fikor Coyle. Number 7 is Ethan Harkin, and at 8 we have Adam McGeever. Number 9 Peter McGee. 10 Finian Coyle. 11 Michael Rorty, 12 Cahill Gillespie, 13 is Owen de Burga, 14 is the man himself, Or McNeely. I'm looking forward to see him playing today, Martin. And 15 is Eamon Colm, as the ball is hopped in, and we're underway here, and it is St Naomh's who pick up the possession early on. Stephen Griffin dropping out around the back, Gaoth dropping back into shape, and it is a cornerback Ryan McColgan who has the ball. And as with many of these championship games, Martin, there's always this early settling phase where we go into this pedestrian mode where possession is 9/10 of the law. No one looking to give anything away early on. Get back, set into your positions.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, getting 11 players behind the ball with the goalkeeper. Just a big interesting one. This Brendan McCall was in for the throw-in. Looks like he's playing in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Leo McBurdy there, actually 29. Sorry, looks very much like Griffin. That's a cross-field pass. That's Pater Morgan trying to open up the play and not succeeding on that occasion. The ball going out over the sideline for a simple possession giveaway by the St. Naomh's men. Michael Rorty picks up the ball now, and Gaoth looking to build from the back. Fikra Coyle has it here. Here's Ethan Harkin over to his left as St. Naomh's get back in their defensive shape and get that 11 set up around the D. Decent breeze blowing across the pitch there, man. I'd say it's favouring the Gaoth men in this first half.
Yeah, Brendan, seems to be, and that's what we talked about Ethan Harkin beforehand, kicking them long range points, and even the man on the ball now, is it Oran McNeill, or they'll just get kicked them points. Even Darrow Whale, we know how good he is, the 2-pointers, so Knowles will have to push out a wee bit more against that breeze.
Yeah, certainly. It comes across to Peter McGee. Gaoth just looking to open up that bit of a space, get the shooting opportunity away, and there's the first score of the game, and that came in from Finian Coyle there. Snapshot. Martin, he was just outside inside the zone. We can't really see the line from where we're at here, but certainly the breeze looked like it carried that ball over the bar.
Yeah, good build up. They took their time. St. Naomh's had pushed out a bit on them and everything else, got the ball to the right footed player in the right place, and so it just went down for a one pointer. But good start. I mean, it's great for your first basically attack. That it'd be disappointing Pater Morgan's ball across the field that he kicked it out over the line, so because we know what possession is like in Gaelic football at the minute. So here got the short kick out away. St. Naomh's. Brendan.
Yeah, indeed, St. Naomh's have possession here. I'm just checking a few numbers and names as they build up on the left hand side. As Thomas White that has the ball, recycling it back. He gives it to Stuart Johnson. Johnson gives it across, and it is Leo McBurdy on the ball. He's seen plenty of ball early on here as they try and break the Gaoth lines. Gaoth realising that they maybe can defend a bit deeper, but they've broken the lines coming inside, and it is Ian Campbell who takes a shot, and it drifts just harmlessly wide and is picked up there by Gary McFadden, and Gaoth build out from the back. And I suppose the thing is that interchange now is huge. Can you get the ball up the pitch? Can there be a kick pass where you maybe get in behind that shield of a defence that's coming back? Oran McNeilish on the ball, great to see him out on the park. Again, another 2-point danger for St. Naomh's to have to deal with. Ethan Harkin on the ball. McNeely's looking to line one up, and again it's back to the first point scorer there. Finian Coyle trying to make ground. Gaoth very good in possession these early stages, not giving it away. It's come to Harkin, a potential 2-pointer, and it drifts to the right and wide, but you got to take them opportunities, Martin, when they're going. Listen, Harkin's right to take that on. That breeze maybe just pushing across, Martin. You maybe not need to give it as much to that left hand side.
Yeah, it's funny, it's probably the breeze the way it is, Brendan. You'd know this better than everybody. I know you had the 2 feet, it didn't matter which foot you kicked with, but I think it's easier from this side to kick with the right foot. So it's interesting that Finian Coyle scored the point with the right foot, where that point Ethan Harkin had to go with his left foot, and it's very hard to know because you have a decision making. You kick with the outside of the boot. Probably should still kick it with that breeze round the corner really than the way he went. So
what do you mean? If you put it out to that far post with your right, it'll come on. He played it across.
St. Naomh's have kicked that ball out over the line again. They'll be very disappointed.
Another cheap possession given away by St. Naomh's there on their own kick, and it's back again with Ethan Harkin, and again they're stepping off just on the line. St. Naomh's looking to stop any 2-point threat and pack the defence. At Harkin, has he found the reins this time? Well, the first one was certainly to get his reins. The second one popped over the bar for the first 2-pointer of the game, and Martin, that was all too easy for Harkin there. He strode onto that ball, no real pressure on him, and he accepted the invitation.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about beforehand. Good move by the management to play him in the back line, and he's actually picking up Brendan McCall here now. He's just moved into that area, but he's playing like, it looks like he's coming from deep and picking up ball, and he's a player. If you don't mark, I think think as Glenn Finn found out last week, he will kick scores all day, but brilliant score and a big 2-pointer. But again, St Gallen will really be disappointed he kicked the ball out over the sideline. Now there is a strong breeze there.
Yes.
Another ball out over the line.
So listen, maybe it's stronger than even we're feeling up here, Martin, because that certainly has disrupted the last few kickouts. And as we're seeing in every game, possession, is how games are won. If you lord it at midfield, you're going to create more opportunities. It means you're going to do damage on the scoreboard. And again, Harkin, no one actually coming there, Martin. Do you think sometimes you should just commit the man to the real danger men out there?
You have to, Brendan. That's exactly it. There's certain players you can say, let them on the ball. Leave them on the ball. That's another great score.
Yeah, another score from a tight angle, coming in there from that right hand side. And listen, outside of that, Harkin wide. There's been 4 shots from Gaoth and now 3 scores, and one of those a 2-pointer for Harkin himself.
Number 11, Brendan. Yeah.
Number 11 was it? Yeah, certainly. That was Michael Rorty.
But it's too easy so far. It means St Naomh can't get possession of the ball. Now they've one of the best goalkeepers now, and it's not easy against the breeze. But he's going to have to try to get the ball away short. But he's gone long again. All the kicks gone out that far side of the field.
Yeah, and again, Martin, listen, you've 3 Gaoth against 1 St Naomh. Now they were lucky that time that the Gaoth man had his hand and knocked it out. But again, if you're going for long kicks, you've got to get players around. I mean, if you're lacking in numbers there, again, you're going to lose the ball. So St Naomh's just looking for the settling score here early on to get them into the game, and they might have an opportunity now as they break through plenty of Gaoth numbers back in, and Campbell turns that ball around. And listen, Gaoth, there's extra men there. They're going to strip possession, and really Campbell and Joe, the 2 Campbells actually, Ian and Joe there, couldn't engineer a shot, and now Gaoth are on the break, and again looking very comfortable on the ball when they do break out. They're finding their men, they're finding the target, and that's Eamon Collum there. He's on that right hand side up against Niall Prenteville.
That's a great score.
And another score for Gaoth and for Eamon Collum, a man that was away on his travels, but he's one of those players that has come back and will always add to this Gaoth full forward line. So that's 5 shots, 4 over the bar, Martin. 1, as I say, a 2-pointer, and Gaoth pushing their lead out to 5. Martin, is it too early that this is a real dangerous time for St Naomh? They have to get their hands on the ball.
They have to get their hands on the ball. Even when they get their hands on the ball, they're too easy turned over to the other end, Brendan. Gaoth are just getting bodies, as you just said in the comedy. They're getting 2 and 3 bodies round the player and the ball, and they've been turned over. So they've got to try to get Padder Morgan, or even this man now, Brendan McCall, on the ball and to drive forward.
Yeah, indeed, McCall on the ball here, gaining possession, and that's huge for St Naomh's now. They've got to have the possession of the ball. Again, Gaoth are happy enough knowing with this breeze that they don't have to push out on them, knowing that they can afford to wait for them to come in, and then, as they did in the previous attack, get 2 or 3 over and try and strip the ball. It's Campbell on the ball here.
I see they've given Michael Rorty the job of marking Padder Morgan when St Naomh's going forward. He's man marking him, he's just picking. You can see him there. Yes. 2 number 11s marking each other, Brendan. So Padder Morgan needs to be given the ball, and he needs to get on the ball.
That's right. He had a big influence in the game last week, had a couple of crackers. Is this the first chance for Knowles? Is it gone over the bar? The ref had signalled for a free anyway, so
it's gone wide, but it's free, Brendan. Yeah.
So this is actually a big moment for St Naomh's. They really need this free. It should be a straightforward kick, you would think. Now he's just outside the 21 there, and it's Stephen Griffin, I think, will be lining up for that. Certainly the 17.
This is number 17,
yeah. He's not down as our. We had 7 here.
He's got it over the bar now. I'll find out who he is.
Yeah, that's a first score for St Naomh's. Very important point. 12 minutes into this encounter here.
Declan Degnan.
Yeah,
he's wearing 17. Yeah, he started the game instead of Stephen Griffin. Actually, we were told Stephen Griffin was starting, but he started.
Declan Degnan, good man. These are the things that catch you, Martin. We're spoiled sometimes at the county with all our programmes.
It's a wee bit disappointing there's no programme. For a championship game, there'll be a programme. I think all clubs need to try to the home clubs to have a programme for the matches.
Yeah, that's it. Good one on the attack now. It's Ethan Harkin. He's in a danger area. There's a potential goal on. He chips the ball over the bar. And it's another score for Harkin here. Dangerous, raiding through the St Naomh's defence, and Harkin really had the goal at his mercy. Martin, would you have slammed that low and hard?
I thought when he didn't kick it over the bar early, he was making a decision that he was going to go for the goal low. And I think if he had to keep it low, it could have been It could have been in the net, but he's causing all kinds of problems. So if Gaoth make a decision to mark the danger man, Padder Morgan, surely to God, St. Knowles have to make a decision, and that kick-out's turned over again.
And then, again, the kick-out's lot is right, Martin, but a poor ball inside, and Eamon Collum was free there, and it was a simple cut-out with great tackling back that time from Stephen Johnson. Covering out the space, which is what the defensive shape has to do, but Gaoth have been brilliant on the ball up in that point. All their passes were met and no one was giving away possession, and they really have been overpowering St. Knowles in many ways. That free, as you say, by Dignan was an important stop in the game, but not really looking dangerous going forward. Maybe that'll change now. Great nip inside by the man who stopped that move, but again, Martin, that breeze, Stephen Johnson, was it there, Stuart Johnson, that breeze, Martin, really playing havoc with that strike, because it was Johnson, as they cut out that pass. It was him who ended up in the back of that move, but he snatched at a shot, and again it looked like the breeze really tailed that shot across the right of those goals.
Yeah, he's that type of player. He's a real hard worker, always works up and down the field, but just, I mean, St. Knowles players should know this pitch better than anybody, and particularly know the, you know, kicking into them goals. Now people will tell you they're scoring goals is the ones that Gaoth are playing into, and they have a breeze, but look at what have we gone, Brendan. We've only gone 11 minutes, and I mean, it's 6-1 already.
Yes, indeed, 6-1, and it's looking dangerous again as Gaoth come across that shield. They are the team that is asking all the questions here in these opening exchanges. And again, working outside the periphery of that defence, but are they too far off? But listen, that was a shot to nothing there coming in from Gaoth. And again, Martin, bit of a snatch shot there. Maybe could have worked it into a better place, because we're saying probably from this left hand side the breeze is going to pull it across that left post, but that shot not registering.
Yeah, just disappointing again for Gaoth, because they're nearly getting it too easy at the minute, and just St. Knowles have got their hands on this ball, and they need to get the big players on the ball. They need to get the big players on the ball if they can at all.
Yeah, indeed. As you say, Padder Morgan's been well marshalled, the marking job on him, which is, we're probably thinking what we were talking about potentially could be done on the likes of Harkin, because he has been a danger. But again, it's that man Stuart Johnson on the ball, but it's been turned over again, and the Gaoth defence have been very solid, Martin. You know, they've waited for St. Knowles to give in the round, realising they can't shoot from range, and then they're breaking into the space, and it's a one-on-one battle here, and Gaoth showing Finn and Coyle a clean pair of heels there, and dropping the ball over the bar. Listen, he dropped the shoulder to the left as Ryan McColgan came out to him. He got around him, and again, different to the other end of the pitch, Martin. The cover's not there, and really as Gaoth sit and invite St. Knowles into that defensive trap, and then they break up the pitch. It's been all too easy for him. First kick out there from Arena. He's finally found an easy target out the pitch, and easy possession gathered for St. Knowles as they build up the pitch again. They need to eat into this Gaoth lead, which is already pushing out to them. And again, Martin, that breeze looked like it's holding up the ball as Finn and Coyles pushed out Gaoth to 7-1 there. But again, Martin, that breeze playing havoc with the St. Knowles attack.
It's interesting, the referee thought that ball went over the bar, and he blew the whistle for the ball being over the bar, and it landed in the Gaoth goalkeeper's hands, and so we could do St. Knowles players, or the Gaoth players were giving out to him that he was going to write it down in the books. Here they go.
Yeah, indeed. Harkin laying off the ball, and again the strike comes in, Martin, and we had a number change out.
We don't know who's number 17. I'll find out.
That's all right, Martin. Yeah, it was him who had the strike just previous to that. Sorry, folks, we're working off limited resources here at times with names of different people that's on the park. There was a few late changes there from the team that was named to start, and we're just getting up to speed with them. But what it is Gaoth's 9th score of the game. 9-1.
Number 17 is Cal McGill-Aspic for Gaoth. Who scored that? Cal McGill-Aspic. So we were told number 17 was Ethan Harkin, but he's wearing number 7. So we're given the official thing was given to the referee. So I don't know. Sorry. Good
man, Cal. Sorry, we're late giving you your dues. Great score there from Cal McGill-Aspic. Yeah, that's him. Cal, well done. Pushing Gaoth out to 9-1. And I suppose, Mark, there you have it. That's what we need to see more from Peadar Mogan. We need to see him running at defences, causing problems, because Michael Rorty says just locking down and going on him, which is smart from the Gaoth management, because there's no doubt Mogan makes this team tick as he'll do. If he gets on the ball, he'll make things happen, and that is a massive side of what the St. Noel's need. So that's the first time we've really seen Mogan go at the Gaoth defence.
Yeah, part of the St. Noel's give him the ball and let him do that, and the St. Noel's the St. Noel's management team and supporters are not happy, I suppose, and Gavin Mulroney's coming up to kick this now. There's still a big kick into that breeze, but we know he will have the distance. He's definitely capable of having the distance.
Yeah, he is indeed. We've seen him kick some real long range ones for Donegal throughout the season. I remember even doing him up in the Healy Park. I seen him kick one early on in a pre-season competition, and listen, he's definitely somebody who can kick from range.
It's wide.
That's gone wide again, Martin. And you could see him, Martin, trying to judge that left hand side. You see him trying to hit that near post because the breeze was going to pull it, but he caught it. He put a lot of power behind it, and that's another wide for the men from Mount Charles. And
they're having a water break. 15 minutes and 40 seconds gone. They're having a water break here, and
15 minutes in, Martin. So we're looking at it now. 15 minutes in. It's a tough team talk already for the St. Noel's manager, Cathal Campbell. And I know you can put a lot down to the conditions, Martin. But what do you say here at time? Number one, get your kickouts sorted. Number two, I think sit on possession. You wind down the clock a bit. Whenever Gaoth sit back in the shell, if I was St. Noel's now, I would play about with that ball and wait for them to come out, because now that's what you should have done maybe early on. I know you're 9-1 now and there's a bit more pressure on you, but really the chances you're going to have are really going to be about a comeback in the second half. So it's almost damage limitation for the second half of this first half.
Exactly, you're right. And I mean, the one thing is, we take these water breaks, and we all agree with them, Brenton, but sometimes Gaoth didn't want a water break.
Yes,
Gaoth didn't want a water break, where St. Noel's would really want a water break to see, as you said, to try to get Peadar Mogan the ball, number one, to go at the player, the Rorty is booked now, and to go straight at him and take him on. And I think that's the big one. And the other thing is, they have to get Brendan McCall on more ball, because they'd be as well off playing him at centre half, picking up, because it's not working really out the field. When he's not getting on enough ball. You have to get your big men on the ball if you can. I know sometimes it's not easy, but it's a thing you have to do.
Yeah, short kick out coming from Gaoth, and Patrick McGillivrey kick out went out over the line, and it's time for St. Noel's now to gain possession and come up the pitch again. And it's number 13 that has it, Ian Campbell, on the ball, giving it across. And again, Gaoth sitting in their shape, happy enough. I think St. Noel's shouldn't be under any pressure with this ball. They should keep it and try and work an angle. Maybe try, as you're saying there, Martin, try and get the likes of McCool or Peadar on to break the line, and either it's a foul, they get around a man, or they set up a man on the run. That seems to be one of the better tactics with them. And Stuart Johnson the same, someone like that's a line breaker there indeed. And here's an attempt from distance down again, Martin. It's kind of like a hit and hope.
There's no sense, Brendan. You're exactly right. Work the ball and run down the clock. What is it, 9-1 at the minute? And you just have to try to run down the clock. 18 minutes gone, and you have to try to get run down the clock.
Yeah, indeed. Gaoth on the attack again. They're coming up the pitch, down in that corner. Eamon Com has it, giving it back to Owen McNeely. We haven't seen a lot of him yet. He still has to, I think with the 2 pointers, I'll be lining a few up for him as well. Ethan Harkin coming off the shoulder, he drops, comes back in, and that wand of a left foot, Martin. And then, listen, I said it before the game, if Ethan Harkin finds form, he has a serious left peg on him, and that's his second 2-pointer of the game for the Gaoth men. And really, that's another dagger and another stretch out of this lead to 10 points of Harkin. And listen, Martin, that time he was marked, he dropped the shoulder, he got away, and with that breeze behind him, that was, a type of kick when he's in form. He'll do them all day.
Yeah, exactly. He'll do them, and they get him on the ball, and they've won this kick out again. They're making St. Naomh's go along with the kick out. So it makes the difference. It makes the difference to try to get your hands. And you said it to half time, and the ball's kicked across the field, and it's just so easy for them. There's 3-4 Gaoth men just picking up this ball. Naomh's have dropped in a bit into zonal defending, but they need them. With even zonal defending, they push out a bit further to not allow the 2-pointers. So what is that? That's two. Is it 2-pointers? Ethan Harkin's got it.
Two from Ethan, yeah. And we have McNeilish on the ball now.
He could kick them too, I'd say.
He could indeed. Ball going across there, and it's picked up by Finian Coyle. Gaoth recycling it out again. Michael Rorty on the ball now. The man's doing a great man-marking job so far in Pater Mogan, but he can add a lot to the attack as well.
He's picked up the yellow card. That's the only thing. Would it be a good move to take him off him now, or do you just take a chance, Brendan, and leave him on him?
Yeah, I think you play it smart there, Martin. Yeah, I still think he's a great man marker, and if you just stay, unless it's a deliberate foul or something.
Yeah, I agree, but Mogan needs to be cute too and go at him and make him nearly.
I would say
pull him down and give away a yellow card yourself, but get him another yellow card.
There's another foul. Yep, they're on the attack now again. St. Naomh's getting into Gaoth territory. It's Campbell on the ball. It's recycled out. And again, coming back to that man, Stuart Johnson. He's seen a lot of ball on this first half. It's come to McCole here. And I think here McCole needs to come at pace and really ask Peter McGee, try and break that line, try and get someone in, get a 1-2, get in behind this Gaoth defence. But in fairness to the Gaoth defence, it's been very well marshalled in there. Everybody stuck to their jobs. They're cutting out the space and they're waiting for a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1, knowing that it's hard for St. Naomh's to get that shot away. Coming across there now, there's the strike coming in. Great block by the Gaoth midfielder, and that was Adam McKeever looking that block out there, and Gaoth now on the break again. That's Harkin on the ball, going back inside. Gaoth building up, St. Naomh's dropping back in again. You got to get tight to your men. Gillespie switching it across, and I think there's a breeze that might carry. It's been kept on brilliantly there by Finian Coyle. Michelle back out as Harkin, the danger man. He's in that same zone again. He fancies it. That's a wee ball inside, back to that man, Finian Coyle, and he's had a great first half as well, Martin. They're looking dangerous, they're dropping the shoulder, they're making the yardage, and that time there looked like it was a shot on for Harkin, and I think he was too tight, and as he pulled players towards him, there's a fist inside to Finian Coyle, and again, Martin, he finds his range, and Gaoth have been very efficient going forward.
Brendan, you just covered really well there. Well, Ethan Harkin, St. Naomh's were figuring out he was going to kick, and then he made a decision to give it inside. St. Naomh's thought he was going to take the ball back, which I thought he was going to do as well, kick the score, but brilliant by Coyle. Has had great him, Rorty in the half early, and really worked hard and kicked good scores between them, and I think that's just great play to put inside and then go for the score himself. He had more space than Harkin, who they were picking up to take the return. Yeah,
Leo McBurdy winning that kick out there. He's a big man in midfield for St. Naomh's as they build up and try and add to that 1-pointed free that they've got so far in this game. It's back to McCole inside again as they build. Thomas White has the ball now, looking for some options, and again Martin, very poor possession given away. You had 2 or 3 St. Naomh's boys just standing there. It was a simple pass, and listen, that's too easy for this Gaoth defence to be giving away possession like that.
Yeah, I think that, I suppose I'll say Gaoth won the toss and made a decision, Brendan, to play with the one. St. Naomh's really needed to win the toss and get a lead and try to hold it for the second half. Now they have to chase. They're going to have to chase the game now in the second half. I mean, it's 12 points to 1, and
it's over 20,
how well organised Gaoth is as well. It's going to be very hard to take it back.
Yeah, 22 minutes in, Gaoth in complete command in this one here today. As Martin was saying, 12-1 up, and it's Ethan Harkin who's been their danger man. This time 3 St. Naomh's players get around him, and they're realising that they must get tight to Harkin, and that, I suppose, from a defensive point of view, is more like it from St. Naomh's in terms of shutting down the man, and that's what Gaoth are doing at the other end of the pitch. They're getting 2 or 3 on 1, and all Gaoth's opportunities opportunities have come from one-on-one situations or no pressure on the man, and we've just seen there what St. Naomh's need to do. Once a man is in that zone and he's about to try and get a shot away, you must get players on his boot and get a couple around him. Almost got the turnover, and Gaoth now just playing a bit of keep ball, saying to St. Naomh's, come on out, if you want this ball, you have to come and engage us. They're going to try and break the line here under no rush, all comfortable on the ball. It's that man Ethan Harkin, who's at a cracking first half for the men from Gaoth. He's shifting the ball across Gaoth, looking to make that space, looking to make that angle. Comes inside Coyle with a smart wee tap off, not giving away the opportunity for the tackle. Maybe a foul down in there, but Val Murray deciding he thought there was enough in it. What did you think? It was a foul?
I thought it was a definite foul, but Val put his hands up over his eyes so he didn't see it.
Right.
And just was good enough idea for Val, but it was hard to see it, all right, you know.
It
but
wasn't the hair,
it was definitely a foul. I thought a foul, but a great wee touch, as you said, because lovely wee flick off. And
talented man, a lot of talent in this Gaoth team, and this maybe we're never going to write anybody off, Martin, because we've seen so many big leads taken back in, and there is a huge advantage, you know, with the home venue here that St. Naomh's could muster up something in this second half. But yeah, as you said, Martin, huge advantage playing with the breeze in that first half, because that Gaoth defence looks solid. They'll sit and they'll look to hit St. Naomh's, and they'll be dangerous on the counter as well. We haven't seen Naomh's really get in behind Gaoth at any stage in a counter attack. It's all been slow build up, as they're doing again now. Peter Mogan's come across, everybody's getting a touch of the ball. It's that man Stuart Johnson again trying to break the line. Mogan's coming on the loop. Mogan has it now, looking up. Is there a pass on? Marini's right out the pitch as well. Ball comes across here to Joe Campbell, to Ian Campbell, sorry. Back in. Back to Mulgreeny, he's backing up the attack, and again, there you have it, Martin. It's a 3 or 4. You're going to lose possession there, and Gaoth have just waited.
The goalkeeper's completely out now, and he's no goalkeeper in.
Yeah.
The right man from Gaoth has the ball now.
McNeely sees the pass. Should have went for goal, Martin. McCall was in there minding the house.
I would agree with you completely. He should have had a goal shot for a point, and have a drop shot with Brendan. It was a big chance. There was a day and the time he would have definitely done it.
When
he was probably a lot younger.
I could see the pass. No, yeah, definitely, because particularly with McCall minding the house, if that ball had even come across, I don't think anything would have came on it. So the goals was open as it was. Mulroney, who lost possession up in the 45, is back in his goals. He's given the kick out, and St. Naomh's have won this one. Stuart Johnson again, who's doing a power of work in the engine room there for St. Naomh's. As they come up the pitch, now the ball is switched across their central area, and again Gaoth just falling back into that defensive shape. They really look like a rock in there, and St. Naomh's found it very tough to break the line and get in around the house. Again, you're just seeing there Roti tracking that man all the way there, that is Peter Mogan, and realising if I keep him out of the game, then it'll be an easier job for my defence. St. Naomh's working it over and back the pitch here. Gaoth just standing off him, knowing that shot's not on, even though they're just outside the D there. Squared across here. St. Naomh's building up the park.
That's Miguel Coughlin, number 19. He started the game as well.
Yes. Well, Martin.
Good
there
score.
We have good score coming in there. That was number 12, Thomas White, with a point there, Martin. And again, that time St. Naomh's just working the space, waiting for the right man to come on it. You've got to have a lot of movement against a defensive shape like Gaoth's, but they did it that time. And Thomas White chipping the ball over the bar, and that's a badly needed score for the men from St. Naomh's.
Yeah, the badly needed score did well, and it's a good score with left foot considering he's kicking it into the breeze. Look at the clock, just 28 minutes. Will Gaoth just hold on to the ball? Will they get word out from the sideline? Just keep the ball, work it down, depending on, I suppose, what Val Murray, the referee, will play extra time to just keep the possession of the ball, or will they go to get a score and then try to win the kick out before half time to get another score?
Yeah, we got so used to this hooter in the last play, Martin, and unfortunately it went well against us in the All-Ireland final, as we all remember, not too fondly now. But the Gaoth men have it in possession here. Peter McGee, long time stalwart of the club,
What Gaoth are trying to do was interesting. They're trying to, as you said earlier on, create a one-to-one, Brendan, and take the player on, and then go for the score in a one-to-one situation.
Yeah, indeed. Trying straight to the defence, because when you have that defensive cover in there must be a weakness somewhere. So Gaoth have been smart in terms of switching the play and then trying to come off at angles and trying to go one-on-ones. But we've seen St. Naomh's tighten up a bit in the last couple of attacks, and there's a man there. McNeil hasn't got a shot away so far in this game. Harkin looking to get on to that left foot. Pater Mogan tracking him here. Mogan one-on-one, and there you have. I think it was a bit unfortunate there, man. That looked like a bit of an accidental collision, but what you had was a bit of aggression from Mogan in terms of the tackle, and he went in and tried his best to overturn the ball.
I thought that was no free, Brendan.
Yeah.
I think you're right there. I think it's accidental, and I think just it looked to me that I thought he was given the free for nearly over carrying the ball against Ethan Harkin, and I thought that was good tackling by Pater Mogan actually, and there
wasn't too much complaints from Mogan about it.
No, he did say, and he's still talking to Val Murray about it. But look at the referee. Is that decision to make it. The angle he was at, he would have probably seen Harkin going down.
Maybe there was a wee bit of a push from Harkin's back that we didn't see. Maybe he put hands on him. But
so we take it this is a two-pointer, isn't it? He's outside the arc. It is.
Yeah.
He's going to hit it fairly straight on, Brendan.
Yeah, it's all about judging this breeze. Yeah, does he kind of hit it with the top of the foot or slightly with the outside of that left? He hit it with the top and just carried to the left and to the right and wide. Decent effort from Harkin, but you think with that breeze, but again, Martin, it's not just about the breeze, it's about judging it. He was trying to put it out so it would come back in, because it's blowing back more in.
It was probably a right-footed kicker if they had somebody right-footed to kick it out of their hands, even, because it was an easy enough kick in the sense of with the breeze behind you're going to have the distance,
And I suppose a young Colum has done that many times. I suppose Darrell Breel would be the man as well if he was here. Great fetch at midfield by St. Naomh's, and they're working the ball back now, and that was a great take out there, Martin, by Leo McBurdy, and that's more like it from the St. Naomh's man. You've just seen sometimes even from that water break, Martin, with a wee bit more aggression in the tackle, and I suppose that is indeed what Cathal Campbell would have been asking for in that water break. Is we got to put pressure on the ball out the pitch, we got to get stuck in. This is championship and we're well behind here. We got to make a fist of this game, and they've certainly been doing that a bit better in this closing 15 of the half, Martin, as the minutes.
There's 31 minutes, Brendan. So the important thing is now they keep try to get a score out of this if they can. Depending on, I take it some of them would have asked the referee. Good ball across the field here.
Yeah, indeed, and these are the one-on-ones that we're talking about. More like it from St. Naomh's. Good tackle from Gaoth, soccer style shot in, and that's too easy picked up by McGillivray in the Gaoth goal. And will we have one last opportunity? We won't, Martin, because Val Murray has blown his whistle. And Martin, just on that, and funny you mentioned the water break, and I know Gaoth have kicked on scores since then. They've ended the half 12-2 up. It's a massive lead, Martin, but not one that can't be pegged back, and particularly, as we say, with 2 pointers in there. But the Gaoth defensive unit has looked very solid, and we've only probably seen the best of St. Naomh's in the last 10 minutes in terms of a bit of aggression in the tackle, and maybe what we want to see in championship. We look at these games and the lack of jeopardy maybe in them, and does it take out the wee bit of life that's in championship? And I think that's something that, as I say, Cathal Campbell would have been saying in that water break, we got to get stuck in here, and we've seen probably a bit better from St. Naomh's in that second 15.
Yeah, and I would agree with you completely. And I mean, of course, the big one's going to be Gavin Mulroney. Get him forward, because he can kick points, long range points. He could be a player who could do it. So get him as an extra player going forward. They'll have to nearly do that with him and drop another player, some other player, just make a decision to drop back to allow him to do that. I think you're right, and I think that'll make the big differences doing that there. And I think they have definitely added a bit to it. They're starting to win their own kick outs, which is very important. But an interesting one now we saw at the end there where Val Murray blew it up there. With the way that we have it with the hooter in most games, and you're going to have probably a hooter. You hooter in the county final or hooter later. Would it not be better? He's saying, This is our last attack. Whenever this ball goes dead, whoever goes dead, say, right, this is it. Let them know. And whenever the ball goes dead, play on till the ball goes dead, whether it's turned over then, and keep playing until then. I think maybe it'd be something we definitely, if the hooter's going to stay, Brendan, in Gaelic football, I think that's something maybe he should let it know, put some signal. Just say, right, this is it. This is the last attack. Whenever time this breaks down, if St. Naomh's turn it over, whatever, if Gaoth get a score, it's half time. If St. Naomh's turn it over, they still have a chance of getting a score. I think it's something we're going to have to look at. if the hooter does stay in Gaelic football.
Yes, because there is that thing of nobody knows exactly what time, and you think there may be an opportunity, maybe not. But I think it certainly adds a lot more excitement to the game. Maybe gives a bit of a chance to a side to maybe conjure up an equaliser, and it's what people want rather than ending on that bit of a downer moment.
I think that's the most exciting part, isn't it? Really, of Gaelic football. You kind of the most exciting time when the thing's very tight. We saw it in the Ulster final and different times this year in very close games all over, where it is the most exciting time when the referee, when they say, right, the hooter goes, but we're playing on, and that's what we're doing. So I would look at it doing it as well in the club football, maybe in the county.
Yeah, well, Cal Campbell, I presume would have liked a hooter to come a lot earlier in this half of some description to save St Naomh's from a Gaoth onslaught, and at half time he has a lot of work to do with his backroom team. Ronan McNeil is coming in with his team relatively happy as they are 12-2 up. Join us for more in this second half. We'll be back to bring you all the action.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.
Thread and pack the defence at Harkin. Has he found the range this time? Well, the first one was certainly there.
You have to bring. That's exactly it. There's certain players you can say let them on the ball. Leave them on the ball. That's another great score.
Yeah, Harkin, that's Eamon Collum there. He's on that right hand side up against Niall Prenteville.
That's a great score.
And another score. He was not down as we had 7 here.
He's got it open for the matches.
Yeah, that's it. Good one on the attack now. It's Ethan Harkin. He's in a danger area. There's a potential goal on. He chips the ball and they're breaking into space. And it's a one-on-one battle here. And Gaoth showing Finn Coyle a clean pair of heels there. And dropping the books.
Here they go.
Yeah, indeed. Harkin laying off the ball. And again, the strike comes in, Martin. And we had a Ethan Harkin coming off the shoulder, he drops, comes back in, and that wand of a left foot, Martin. And listen, I said it before the game, the danger man, he's in that same zone again, he fancies it. That's a wee ball inside, back to that man, Finn Coyle.
And number 19, he started the game as well.
Yes. Go on, Martin.
Good
there
score.
We have good score coming in there. That was number 12. Yeah, welcome back to Park Gaoth O'Gallagher here in St Naomh's, where the home team has been up against it for the full of that first half as they trail 12 points to 2. And Martin, Brendan McCall is out at midfield to contest this throw up with Adam McKeever. And really, Martin, are you expecting this? Is it going to take 2 pointers? We've seen the big leads last week, they were reined in, but this Gaoth defence looks very solid and they'll be dangerous on the counter themselves.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what they'll do, and that's the tactic they'll have, is to, turn over like they did early on, particularly the first half, was just to turn over St Naomh's and work it up the field. And I think that when you look at it, they need a couple of 2 pointers and they need them early. And I think we're waiting on Val Murray to come out here.
I will say, whenever about St Naomh's been up against us, we've been up against it because there's been different names on different people and different numbers. And my apologies to anybody listening in, saying that's a different fella. I think we've got them right now, Martin, because different people were changed in terms of jerseys and that. But listen, that is the crack of the club championship, and we'll probably need to get that changed down the road somewhere.
I think what should happen is that the home team should have a programme done out. The away team sends in the team sheets. Not just the numbers of the players. That's all we want. If you're doing it, to be fair to everybody that's listening to us, and to give credit to a player who scores a 2-pointer or something. They're not being fair, to their own players, especially people looking at it away from home and everything else. But the second half's on, Brendan.
Second half's on. Val Murray has thrown in the ball, and it's Gaoth that have won it with a breakdown, and they're on the attack. Fikar Coyle has it, and St Naomh's dropping back in and knowing maybe the defensive shape will be a bit more solid in this half. And of course Gaoth have the ball now, Martin, and if I was Gaoth now, I'd be under no rush to play this ball. They know that they've got a 10-point lead, and you'll see that from Peter McGee. He's strolling across there, a simple hand pass. And here, this is going to be the interesting saga in this half, Martin. Do Gaoth look to go forward at all? And if they don't, St Naomh's going to have to come out after them, which creates space in the background. So you'll have a bit of mental warfare going on early on top of everything else, because we're seeing now Peter McGee, that's Gaoth now, St Naomh's pushing out on them, that but Leo McBride coming out there, but that will create space in the back. Harkin got the ball now. Ethan Harkin has the ball, he's 1-on-1, giving it across to McNeilish, and while there's no pressure on the ball, Gaoth happy enough to keep it. There's always that spare man, and the spare man this time is Eamon Collum. He has the ball now, building it up left hand side. And do they take this opportunity to attack with Aidan Brana? And Aidan doesn't. He comes back around, and there's the spare man again. And it's 11v11. Do you commit this sweeper out, Martin? What
you
do
have
you
to.
do?
I mean, the same thing to be big 20 points. I know they could go down to scoring average and maybe everything, and either relegate it or get through to the thing. But I think you have to. You're at home here, Bren. You have to go for it.
Yeah. St Naomh's now realising that there's a chance of a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1. But again, being impressed with Gaoth on the ball as well. They're not easily.
You have a player like Oren McNeilis, and you have Ethan Rafferty, and players. They're all comfortable on the ball. These guys won championships, and they won underage and everything else. It's a great hit.
Yeah, that's what we need to see more of. Indeed, the tackles coming in from the St Naomh's men. That time it was Barry Griffin who put in that shoulder, and I suppose that's that type of aggression we've seen at times. We've seen it a couple of occasions from St Naomh's, in terms of when you do get to the pitch of it, you've got to go and put the pressure on the man, as we've seen even the likes of Finbar Rohde for Donegal doing it a lot this year. He breaks out from the shell, goes after the ball and tries to create a turnover. With Ethan Harkin now right hand side, he's stepping in, looking to get that trusty left foot, shows the ball just a wee bit too high. Is this a chance for now for St Naomh's to break? And this is the one now, can they get in before the Gaoth cover gets back? Is there a kick pass in them? Is there a way of getting up the pitch before the shield comes back? Gaoth funneling back in. St Naomh's out on this left hand side here, and the danger man, that is the one and only Patter Mogan, is on the ball, looking to get in the round, maybe create a 2-point opportunity. He recycles it back this time, and the shot comes in high, and as it tailed, and that's a brilliant 2-pointer there from Joe Campbell. What a great strike here, Martin, and just what the neutral wanted in the front of St Naomh's.
Yeah, exactly. We talked about it, maybe 3 of them at least in the start of the second half, but they've allowed Gaoth to get the short kick out of the way, and that's when they had a chance to press up and try to win the kick out, because when Gaoth have possession, they're going to keep it for a couple of minutes and try to work it in. I know it's a good turnover by Brendan McCall at the other end to do that. I was just thinking about Brendan McCall, where it hasn't really worked playing in the middle of the field. Wouldn't it have been a good move? It's easy for us to be wise over here, but to put him on Ethan Rafferty or Ethan Harkin and give him a job marking, but it's too late now. But you consider, and he could have been pushed up and pressed up. Yeah, exactly. But it's easy for us being ways up here. But I was just thinking about it there when I was looking at him, and because it hasn't been effective in the middle of the field, and he might have been better. And it's not easy for him playing, but he might have been better just giving him the same job as he gets for the county, and let him press up on the player and put the player in the back foot. Yeah,
well, if you even stop those two pointers, and you put it in it now, that would mean 8-4, Martin. If you went with that, technically, if you went for that could be the difference in it. As you say, Martin is signing the danger men, and really Harkin's two pointers. He kicked them with ease, and you'd think McCall would have been potentially on his boot, but we never know. That's the question marks that St. Naomh's will think about if they do lose this match. But as is, they're facing another Gaoth attack here, and you can see really possession with Gaoth, very comfortable on the ball, working it back to Nishan McGillivray. He gives that nip ball in. Harkin's got the wrong side of his man. He's in the danger area. He goes to pull the shot, and the block coming across there by the man from St. Naomh's, and that was Thomas White, I think. Man, he just caught Harkin as he went to pull the trigger there. But that was good from Harkin, a wee nip ball inside, and that's something maybe St. Naomh's didn't do to Gaoth. They maybe didn't get that wee pass in behind, maybe a better marshalled defence of Gaoth's, but leaving Harkin a simple opportunity now to push the ball over the bar. He just about get that a bit short.
He was a wee too casual, Brendan, but he did well to finish it, But we talk about this Gaoth, they pulled out all the stops. You even see Kevin Cassidy doing the line here on the water down below and everything else, and to have a player of that standing on the line, helping out the lads on the field and getting information out from down. He's on this side of the field, which is a big help. I always like to have people on different sides of the field. That's better from St. Naomh's.
Yeah, brilliant fetch out there from St. Naomh's. As Martin was saying, their possession is the key, and that was Michael Coughlin that won that ball straight from the Mulroney kick out. Brilliant catch from him. We need to see more of that from the St. Naomh's men. But you said Kevin Cassidy, first year actually completely retired. He obviously played for the reserves last year.
He looks like I don't know, is his knee or he's limping heavily anyway, but that's all the training and the football injuries. We all know all about that. He's just joining us at this stage in his career, in his life.
Yeah, Michael Coughlin picking up possession there, giving it across, and again St. Naomh's just trying to open up, trying to get that 2-point effort away or a score, and again simple possession dropped in there. It was Barry Griffin, just took his eye off the ball for a second and it's gone. Mulroney scampering back now, trying to get back on this old. McNeely's has it, Mailcom has it now, and there's maybe a break on here as he squirts the ball across to the very effective Finian Coyle here. He's coming up, he's 1-on-1, and then St. Naomh's defence is stretched. It's a 1-2, back to Coyle on the left foot, simple score. And again, Martin, that's what we're saying about the danger of the Gaoth counter-attack. It was going to be much faster than the St. Naomh's one that we've seen in that first half, and a simple score in the end.
Yeah, I think if Kevin Mulroney's going to go up the field, I think is important. Has great play, and I mean the good thing about that play was it was quickly taken up the field, even against the breeze, with foot passing, which was good to see. Nice quality foot passing, and put into the player's chest or to move on to. And I think looking at if Gavin Marine's going to come up the field, they need to get the ball to him and make pressure on Gaoth to push a player out on him, and this kick out's been, I think, turned over by Oran McNeil. He's having a big game, Oran McNeil. He is just going through the way of doing it, but doing it simple, but doing everything he does is brilliant.
Gaoth looking a bit more dangerous in the attack when they want to go for it, but they're happy enough to keep ball and really wait for that right moment, which is a danger for St. Naomh's because they're owning the clock. But Mulroney that time, he looked like he had a target out the middle, and he went to dink it. It just carried beyond the St. Naomh's man, and it was a simple possession given up to McNeely's. And now we've seen the two sides of Gaoth. There's one where they have possession here where they're happy enough to build the play. The second is when they come at pace on the counter, and those two scores that they got there from Ethan Harkin free and Finian Coyle has now cancelled out Joe Campbell's 2-pointer, and they have the ball again here and looking to get one-on-ones. Eamon Cullum on the ball there, squaring it across to their centre half back, which is Fikra Coyle. Frika and no rush, he's waiting, giving it back, and you see now, you can see the style from Gaoth. St. Naomh's are going to have to come out and engage them and potentially leave gaps, but unless they do, Gaoth will just keep winding down this clock. We're 8 minutes into this second half, and St. Naomh's haven't been able to eat on into the lead. As they got a 2-pointer, but they've conceded 2 scores themselves, so it's looking like it's going to be a real uphill battle in this second half for St. Naomh, particularly how good Gaoth are on the ball, and there we see an example of it, Martin. While St. Naomh are waiting to snap in and get that tackle, they foul Michal Rorty and again giving Gaoth an opportunity to extend the lead.
Yeah, it's good possession with Gaoth. They're brilliant, and suppose you're looking at it, the difference probably between the two teams, in fairness, Gaoth know how to win, they know how to do it, whereas St. Naomh are hoping maybe they won, and that's understandably when you're playing in different it's a different level and everything else. And this, particularly the Gaoth team, have won a lot. Some of them at senior level and more of them at underage level and everything else. And that's another score for them. And it's 17 now.
Gillespie. And Martin, just on that, Gillespie struck that ball really well, right-footed, and we were just on about Ethan Harkin, maybe potential. So you need somebody on both sides to be able to clip that ball over the bar, and a good score from Gillespie.
I think that's a decision. In fairness, the management must have made it half time to give it. To actually, give it to him to kick on that side of the field, because there's going to be bigger tests down the road. And I'll tell you, looking at it, there's not when the draw is made on Sunday evening, Brendan, not many teams will want to go to Maragallon to play that team in Maragallon. We know they're hard, they are, and they always were. Even back in my team,
that's right.
They were hard to beat down in Maragallon.
You don't need to tell me about it.
It was a tough place to go, but it was an enjoyable place to go because they have a great passion for Gaelic football down there, and they always really, and they produce good footballers. They do. Great, better than the man talked about on the sideline there, and the man players out in that field there. So they always produce players.
Great tradition is right. Wasn't that enjoyable for me when Neil McGee was about, Martin? But I know what you're saying. We were close to the sea. We got a dip in the Atlantic after, which was always good. And listen, now a great part of the world indeed. And as you say, Martin, looking. What I like about Gaoth here, their defensive shape is solid, their tackling's been good, they've looked to get the 1-on-1 or the 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s, and then up the other end of the pitch when they've had it, they've been very strong in possession, either forcing an attack or forcing St. Naomh into a foul. And again, Big McNeil's on the ball here, and Martin, he's just cruising around the pitch.
He's controlling the whole game. I know Ethan Harkin players like that are being very, very good. Eamon Collum has been very good in that, but McNeil is just controlling the game.
Yeah. Miguel Avrija coming out here from goals, as we've seen him doing many a time. He done it for the under-20s in the championship as well. And here we have Ethan Harkin.
Great score.
Another great score from Harkin there, coming in from that right-hand side. Martin is saying he's found his range in this game, and another great score from him, Martin. I just got the feeling the breeze actually died a bit just before he kicked that ball. But he arrowed it over the point, and already, Martin, it's ominous for St. Naomh, because they got that 2-pointer, but they've now conceded 4 from Gaoth, and as we thought, in possession and on the break, Gaoth looking dangerous.
I think it's Barry Griffin gone off here, and says number 27 has come on. I'll just get him for you here, Brendan. Now I think I don't know if the team sheet right, but we have it here anyway. Yeah, you're right though. I mean, it's completely different when we look at it. Is there a 27? I don't think I have a 27 on here.
That would be par for the course, I think, Martin, with this one, between names and number changes. And maybe a phantom 27 come on here. We'll see if somebody can give us a bit of advice to see who it is, but it's a flick on's been done as Pater Mogan now as St. Naomh's go in search of something to bring them back in this, and a huge gang. There must be 13 Gaoth men, well obviously 11 of the,
I think it's Danny McDyer, number 27.
Yeah, there was 11 Gaoth men on the hunt there for that ball, and Martin, Danny McDyer says on the pitch. That time the ball broke, it was Pater Mogan come in round the back, and as there was a threat of any danger in there, that whole Gaoth defensive 11 were right back in, Martin, and that is something that is worked on night after night in training.
Yeah, it isn't the ref taking this back. Val Murray for free, and then Gavin Mulroney's coming up. Yeah, it's Danny McDyer's number 27, and he's going to hopefully kick this ball.
Remember that name,
I'll remember that name, Danny McDyer. And Gavin Mulroney's a big kick, like it's a important kick. 16 points to score, just on the line. So here goes. He's running very, very straight at it. I always used to like to run around the corner, Brendan, and he's has he got it?
Already he's planted it, yeah.
I think he's
Between
planted
the goals,
it. So
2-pointer, the umpire, and no rush.
Who am I to tell a man how to kick a free kick, Brent?
The umpire, no rush, and he's broken the rot there of 4 points in a row with another 2-pointer. Now, he's saying St. Naomh's needed 2-pointers, Martin. They've got 2 in these open exchanges in this first 13 minutes, but of course they've conceded 4, so they haven't been able to eat into the lead.
They're conceding the kick-outs too easy too. It's too easy for Gaoth with the kick-outs.
Yeah.
And they're just able to get possession, and they can hold the ball for a couple of minutes, as you said earlier on. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, indeed, and they're holding it again now. That's Finan Coyle, who's had a great game so far from the way. He's been very lively, looking very dangerous for the men in the green and white. And Ethan Harkin, and as you said, 2 men has done a lot of damage today between himself and McNeilish. McCollum looking lively, Eamon Collum looking lively as well, of course, over there. He's popping in and out, and now you see it. Martin St. Naomh's been forced out, but will that give Gaoth an opportunity to get in and around the back? You just look there, the way they backed off there. Michael Rorty was backed off. Michael Collum decided to leave him and give him that extra space. Now he's coming distance, coming range, and he's got the breakaway, and Gaoth in around the back, and big Adam McKeever found himself in the corner forward position. He steps inside, comes back on that right foot, 14 yards out, man. Simple score.
Yeah, again, got the kick out away too easy and won it. I think it was Eamon Collum got his hands on the kick out, and they won the kick out very well and worked it up, got it to McNeil as he's controlled over, crossed to Ethan Harkin. Ethan Harkin carried the ball up, told exactly Mia Rorty what to do. He showed his pace, and he got the pace through the middle and created that extra player, which Gaoth were able to do where St. Naomh's weren't able to do in the first half.
Yes indeed. St. Naomh's have the ball now. Brendan McCole in possession, coming back around, sitting in. Mogan does a wee shimmy back in, back out. St. Naomh's looking to work it, but they've worked themselves right into the corner, and that's all too easy. It's been picked up again by the men from Gaoth, and they're working it back up the pitch. It's number 18, Martin. Do we have another man on there on the pitch for Gaoth?
Hold on, Brendan, I'll check the team.
You're alright, just check him there, no problem. We have 18 and 21 in for Gaoth. That's McNeilish unloading the bench, realising.
18 is Jonathan O'Driscoll going by the team sheet, and who'd you say 21 is Gilla Christian McWarge. Gilla Christ McWarge.
Christian McBride.
It's McWard. Yeah, McWarge. Yeah.
Another score coming in for the Gaoth men, and McNeilish happy enough to say to unload the bench, and that one coming in from Finan Coyle, who's had a great game from Gaoth there, Martin, keeping him.
And he's picked up a knock, that's only just to be one player that wouldn't want to be losing, Brent.
Yeah. Michael Ward, he's young now, played with under 20s this year, is he? I think that might be him. I think he was involved with under 20s and get a good season for them as well. That's a water break again. Yeah. Who decides these water breaks, Martin? Is there a temperature check?
Maybe the referee. Yeah. I don't know. I think the referee. Maybe, I don't know. I think it's a good idea. In fairness, players, I think it's a good idea, and I think maybe the county board made that decision this weekend with it being so warm to say right to everybody. I think it's a good idea. It does help certain teams that have been at county level, especially. It does, the way with all the stats and all the tactics and everything else to get the messages out, what's going on and how the tactics is going and where we're losing the kick outs and things that that there is important. When at club level probably don't be as much talked about that there, but look at you. I know St. Naomh's, but people look at them and say, well, they're Division 3 team now next year, whatever. But you have to say that Gaoth have been impressive, Brendan. And as I said, no team will want to go down to Maragallon, but I think looking at it, you would have to be saying, to them and control it. And you look at it, that I don't think you can afford to leave the likes of Oran McNeil and Ethan Harkin free. I think you have to make a decision to mark them and hope that the other players take a chance on that there, because you're allowing them in a situation like this just to completely and utterly control the match, And I just like to see this Gaoth team against, St. Eunan's or Neve Connell, just to see for them. I think they would like to get it, maybe from their own point of view, get a good draw, because I think then it's important to find out where you're at and test yourself. Yeah,
good kick from Mulroney. The resets on. St. Naomh's are starting again to look to their bench, to look to something, but again, very simple possession given away. McCole there is in a wee bit of a row starting. Gaoth lads all coming around, and the usual bit of pushing and shoving, and Val Murray will want to get a hold on this.
I don't know what was in the water his team took it. That's something we didn't expect. There must have been someone great in that water.
I would say, if you look at it in the game, we go back to Championship, and listen, I had my doubts on the format of Championship now being Championship, and I know we have to find a way to encourage teams to get games and all that, but I think the old format, home and away in the third game, is great for Championship and hype up the league a bit more and make it a bit more. I'd agree
completely. Well, we need like if you look at Tyrone League, there was a Tyrone League game, and there were 5,000 lifted on the gate in Tyrone. At a game between Lochmagrody and Carrymore, a local derby, and and Carrymore clapped the team off the field half the game, but that's the kind of gates. I think we need to make our league more important. Exactly, Brendan, I would agree.
At the latter end of the league, the important games
when the county players are even back, that makes sense. Because people go out we don't have enough county games because people go out to watch. You're spot on to watch the county player. I think we could take our time with the league and maybe allow the county players to come back and everything else. So Damien has the switches there for you. Yeah.
Dara O'Beal for Peter McGee. Dara O'Beal's on the pitch. Speaking of county players, Martin, everybody will be
great sub to have to be able to get off the bench.
Not a bad man to be able to bring in to help shore up the Gaoth team. Dara O'Beal, one of their main men in there. Like a lot of Donegal boys, he took a bit of a break. Jonathan O'Driscoll,
he's in for St. Naomh. He's number 18 for St. Naomh. Here goes Gavin Mulroney with another 2-point. He's got it, good 2-point.
Yeah.
Only good thing about the umpire, in fairness to me, he puts up his hand right away. He doesn't wait to put up the orange flag. So that's 3 2-pointers as they've got now this half, is it?
Yeah.
So it's out to 18-8, a 10-point game.
Yeah.
But they got the short kick out away again. The problem is they're not able to press the kick out St. Naomh's well at all, Yeah. And Cal Campbell and his management team will be very, very disappointed with that, because I think you need to. And this game, where we talked about earlier on, Brendan, possession being very important. I think you need to press the kick out and make them go long and hope that you can pick up the breaks.
Yeah, indeed, as you're right, that possession means that it's an easy play up the pitch. St. Naomh's did push out a small bit to go at Gaoth, but Gaoth have it, and they have it with Dara O'Beal. It's been played across the pitch here, and there's a shooting opportunity coming in there from Owen de Burka, but there's been a touch on it. The umpire was well on that there. He must have heard the slap across the hand. So that is a 45 to the men from Gaoth. But again, having Dara O'Beal to come in there, and you say, you get the sense of a wee bit of urgency again. After both water breaks, we've probably seen a wee bit of extra, maybe a wee bit of fist pumping in that huddle to say, right boys, let's give it a go and let's get the blood up and try and get into Gaoth a bit. But listen, Gaoth controlling the play. Now McGillivray, that's him.
So listen, they've a lot of quality. They could afford to leave good players off and take them in. And I was talking about Dara O'Beal. I would have played against his dad Brendan way back, and he was a good footballer and a tough man too. But I was laughing. I says, "Geez, he's very like his dad." I was telling him, "Says Ronan McNeil is there when I was chatting with him," and he says he's growing more like him every day. He says,
"Very good, very good." Well, listen, you had a couple of boys that grew a bit like you as well. There was no harm for the county.
No.
There's
the 21 minutes gone, Brendan, on the clock. When we look at it like that,
and you have Dara O'Beal and McGillivray into the team, which is along with other subs that come on, and that's what you need. You need a squad, and if a team can play like that,
later on down the road, you're going to need players to make an impact off the bench.
Definitely. Unless Dara O'Beal coming and Gaoth asking questions as Harkin, they're trying to make that opportunity and make that gap against that breeze, but you're just seeing as that shot come in how powerful that breeze can be at time, and that high hanging shot from Finian Coyle didn't even get out over the end line, and it's Gaoth who've won it back, and they're playing about the 45 here. McGillivray on the ball, it's Donald on the ball. Again, a great midfield man to have in to the game. I thought he's done well any time he's played with Donegal. Certainly one for the future. McNeely's on it. The ball going across here to Finian Coyle. Back to Ethan Harkin. And again, that spare man out is a killer for St. Naomh's. Why they try and leave the sweeper in? You've always got a spare green and white jersey. That time it's Dara O'Beal gets it. Gaoth still pushing it. They're still going to go forward. You've got the tackle and there's the opportunity. You've got to get the turnover there. Whenever he takes the ball into possession, that was on the Burka. You've got to try and get that steal, but the Burka was strong on the ball, fists it back, and again Gaoth with the extra couple of bodies out round the edge of that shield of St. Naomh's, and too easy for them in terms of possession on the ball. I say they've been very good on it as well. Back to McNeely's. Himself and Darragh Boyle have positioned themselves 50 yards from goals. They're orchestrating the moves. St. Naomh's trying their best to get to it. You see the push come out, and there you have it. A wee flick ball by McNeely's over the top, trying to get the Gaoth man, and he's offloaded it to Harkin off to Darragh Boyle. He dummies shoulders. He thought about the shot. Darragh Boyle keeps it again. And for a player of his quality, he would have been in range. Harkin have left him alone for a minute. He swings that left boot at it. Does it carry? No, the breeze catches it and pulls it to the left and wide. But at the minute, I suppose you just look at it and get over in many ways. Just, playing the game completely on their terms.
Yeah, it's just completely. I mean, they're just taking players on to give them a run out, and there's no threat. St. Naomh's had an early threat if they could. Was it 18 points to 8? And looking at it, like they're making St. Naomh's go along with the kick outs, where they're getting away the short kick outs themselves short. But I think that's brilliant caught by Brendan McCall. That's good kick out by Gavin Mulroney, and well taken by his county team.
Great catch. Look at the numbers back for Gaoth. They've swarmed the defence. There's Gaoth men everywhere. You'd think they'd more players on the pitch currently. A couple of St. Naomh boys now joining the attack out in the far side of the pitch and joining it from deep. But Gaoth are very happy setting that defence. Their defensive units look very solid here this evening. St. Naomh's play it out around the top of that defence, and it's Leo McBurdy had the ball. He shopped it back to Campbell coming out the pitch trying to get possession. It's over across to Mogan. It's chipped into that right corner. It's a sub on the ball. That was O'Driscoll. He gave it across trying to make a bit of room, and that is Thomas White here. The ball, the ref has pulled it back for a foul there from Gaoth. But it's what is it, St. Naomh's at this stage, 18-8 down, Martin. It's all about 2 pointers. It's all about trying to conjure up a goal or something, that'll bring them back. At 1 point, there's not a lot of use at this stage.
No, it's not a lot of use, but the only thing is we're scoring difference in that. But I think the important thing is to try on this next kick out to put pressure on that
get organised.
Make Gaoth go long, get a zone, whatever kind of defend they're doing, get it in, and don't let them get it away. Get the kick away short. I mean, that's an easy knock over the bar. Yeah,
easy knock over the bar. That one came in from Ian Campbell there, striking over the bar. And you're saying here, Martin, now Gaoth are bunching and breaking. They're bunching and breaking like the Kerry, probably the most vaunted team for doing it. And here they have going in the line there. McAward comes back in low to take that.
Cal Gallagher, number 21, just after coming on, I think, for Gaoth.
Yeah, that's that under 21.
Yeah, he's just after coming in there now, Brent.
But
I think one interesting one. And we'll wait till this ball goes dead. I'll just chat easy. What do you think about it? Just somebody that was chatting to David Clifford about his career and about football. And I think maybe what he said would help Donegal football as well. We just wait till the ball goes dead. I think that Gaoth have got the kick out again. Their hands on the ball, and they're going to just round down that clock now.
Yeah. The numbers are slowly filtering through there. My apologies, Gallagher, indeed, fine young player, great one for the future for Gaoth and Donegal. And there's another one chipped on for the men from Gaoth, and that is. We're just looking at some changes.
But I was just saying that somebody got chatting to David Clifford and asked him, what do you think helped to develop them? And he said amalgamation from senior championship allowed them as a junior club to play in senior championship. I think it's someone we should look at in Donegal, amalgamating teams and having it for a senior championship. And he said he was able to play at a higher level rather than being just a real, hammering everybody at his own, in his own maybe junior club, that he played the senior, they were allowed to play in senior championship. And he thinks that amalgamation has helped not alone him, but it's helped carry football a lot.
Well, there's a formula there, Martin, that we should be looking into, alright, around, it can't just be, as you said, something in the water.
But there's someone definitely out there to throw out there, Brendan, for people, and just to look at it from our own point of view, to allow you see players from especially small junior clubs that they get a chance to play with good players and play at a good level, which is deserved it, and that they could end up making them into county footballers, which is the big thing that you want.
Yeah, we've seen the schools amalgamate now, Martin, to make that a bit fair in terms of the amount of clubs that push into some of them northern teams. And there's a strike coming in from St. Naomh's there, hitting the post, and again Gaoth in possession now. St. Naomh's in this half are trying their best to to push out the pitch, but indeed Gaoth very comfortable on the ball. Benny Rose is in for Stephen Johnson on the nose, and Shane Connolly in for Leo McBurdy, and Jordy Finnan Coyle has gone off for Gaoth.
He picked up that knock, and it's Jordy Gribben. Gribben has come in.
Good man, Martin.
And
Jordy Gribben's come in there, couldn't read that right.
But they've a lot of them good underage players. You know them, you've seen them playing, Brendan and Gaoth, and they've a squad of players. And their defence hasn't really been tested today, but they look good the way for whatever testing they got. But they do look good. Yeah,
yes, indeed, they do, Martin. Gaoth now just on the ball, and listen, they're playing about beside Knowles now, and it's pedestrian, and unfortunately this is what happens in games when you have a defensive shape in there and you're chasing a lead. You're really, it's one of them ones, are you going to lie in? And as you said, Martin, damage limitation, which could prove something down the line. St Knowles of course played in the last two senior playoffs. They survived each time, and here they are again this year, and they could be facing an uphill battle with 2 defeats. They could find themselves back in a similar process. Maybe that scoring will come in it, Martin, but certainly they're just sticking to the game plan that they have, and that's to sit deep and invite Gaoth on them. Gaoth are saying we have no need to come on and engage you because we're 19-9 up and we're in control of this game. And McNeely's here, fancies one now, Martin, outside the boot, dropping it in. Does it go out over? It was trying to be kept in there by Naomh Naille, but it goes out over the line. Gavin Maroney getting it, and we're in the closing minutes here, Martin. We're on 29 and a half, and what you're saying is you've been summing up great performance from Gaoth all round. Maybe not asked a lot of questions, but certainly in terms of a game plan, a defensive structure, good on the ball, taking opportunities, they've done the majority of those things.
Yeah. And 100%, they've done everything that they had to do and been asked of them, and they all look, and you've said that point, Brendan, they all look very, very comfortable on the ball, and that's good. I don't know, it's a club level we're talking about. Every one of them, a lot of them would have played county level at some stage or some time at underage, and they're just, listen, they're looking at themselves, the confidence and everything else, and the new rules I think suiting them and suits that man. Naomh Naille is on the ball, and Ethan Harkin, it definitely has given them more room to play, express themselves, which is good to see. Way back when you had 14 men behind the ball, it was too hard for the likes of quality players. So the rules have definitely helped, and that's why this Gaoth team are going to have a say in this championship.
It would put off a player like the likes of McNeely, said, as a kind of free spirited type player. He'd be fed up with 2 or 3 around him.
You wouldn't blame him, sure.
Yeah. St Knowles have overturned the ball, but again, good tackling back by the number 11, Michael Rorty there. But unlucky to be called for a foul by Val Murray, and the ball's been chipped back. And St Knowles come on the attack for a bit of respectability, maybe into this game. They're building up on this right hand side here where they've come from most of their attacks in this second half. They're trying to build up, work the ball around, get a shooting opportunity. And again, it's come back to that man, number 13, and he swings the boot at it, and it goes well wide. That was Ian Kemp.
I think the referee has given the free earlier on. I think he's saying there's a free in, so it was I think he might have known that. In fairness, he can't believe he's taking a shot for nothing, but trying to get a 2-pointer, and it's a free in. And Gavin Mulroney, will he come up? He probably will get this.
It would have been a nice feeling in your day, Martin, taking a shot when you knew there was a free in the background.
It'd have been brilliant.
That'd been good. It would have been one of them ones. It's an interesting one, Martin, just how long that advantage goes in. We've seen some strange instances of it, no more than the goal that Mayo got us down in Castlebar.
I think there's something has to be looked at. The advantage, Brendan. I think that they have to say so many seconds, and that's it. And and I think maybe if a team wants to take the free, it's up to them. Just drop the ball and kick it away or something and get your free. But if they play on, I think they're saying, right, we're going to play on. And that's a great score.
That is some kick by Gavin Mulroney, because he was right out on that right hand sideline, and he is the top scorer by some way.
I told you it's up to him, but he didn't get any from play, which is disappointing. But they could even have got him on the ball a bit from play. It would have helped,
Yeah, great score from Mulroney there, bringing his total up to 6 of that 11 of.
It's good they've gone into double scores and St Knowles. That's good for themselves.
Yeah, bit of respectability on the scoreboard for the home team here. It's been a very tough day at the office for them here, indeed, with a very slick Gaoth team bringing on a couple of main men in the second half as well, and really showing their flexing their muscles in terms of having a squad. And listen, they're certainly up there with a team you think can win the championship this year. Dara Wheel has had his break now, he'll be back fresh, and of course great to have your county men back at training as well, and just adds that extra bit of buzz and elevates the training as well, because if you want to get your best and get your team better, you need your main men at training to really push things on and to drive the standards, and there's no doubt in the likes of Dara will be doing that back into the Gaoth along with McGill-Avregia.
That's it.
And that's it. Balmurray calls time on it, Martin. It's ended up 19 points Gaoth, 11 points the home side. St. Naomh's, Martin, as we're saying, it's been pretty much an easy workout from Gaoth. Never really asked too many questions in the game. They were good on the ball, good on the counter-attack, strong defensive shape, and really, I'd say McNeely's very, very happy. Second one from on the bounce, and Gaoth will be sitting top of the pile now come the end of this weekend, Martin. And really, as you said, no one will be looking to go to Maragallon for this third game.
No, you look at it to the first team, and the first team that really looking at that they're in the 4 points now, they're top of the table. You see the first team there, they can relax now and they can go and watch other games this weekend. Everything else and get ready for next weekend. And I mean, they have a game next weekend in Maragallon, which is, said there'll be no team on. I was impressed with them now. I'd like to see them tested more to see where they're at, particularly their defence and everything else to see. But you can only beat what's put in front of you. St. Naomh's will be disappointed, but that's probably the level they'll tell you they're at themselves. And when you look at it from their point of view, they're kind of a team that when they've to play the league without the county players, they end up getting relegated, which is a wee bit unfair, because they would, if they had them, they would be winning a lot more games, and and everything else. And you look at them, maybe say that it's not easy to do, but I know they're in the senior championship and teams want to stay in it. But maybe to go and have a go at one in the intermediate championship one, just to get a bit of it's hard to beat when you're winning, Brendan. It's hard to beat it, and when especially taking that Gaoth team, some of the young lads coming in there, you can see it in them. They're not afraid, and they're there. They've been successful at underage level, and you can see it there with them and everything else, and they made a difference. So look at, I think Gaoth are up there. They're probably not, we talk about this, people say it's a two-horse race, Unions and Naomh Naille, and that's fair enough with the squads of players they have and everything else, because the squad is important. But I think that Gaoth team, looking at them, they'll be impressed enough with them tonight, and I'd like to see them, as I said, I think themselves they would like to get a better test if they could from their own point of view, because I think that they would like to see them really tested. But Oran McNeil it's lovely to watch him on the ball. He's just brilliant on the ball to something right. And I think the new rules, I think he probably said, I hate for them rules didn't come in 10 years ago, because we always loved him as a quality footballer, and I just think that looking at it and everything else, they'll beat a lot of teams, Brandon, looking at them there and everything else, as long as they don't pick up any injuries and everything else. So look at easy day out for them.
Easy day out. The top score for them was Ethan Harker, of course, with 7. Gavin Marini had 6 for the men from St. Naomh's from dead balls and 2-pointers. Was a big move probably, Martin, the likes of Michael Rorty got in on Pater Mogan and nullifying it. Was that something that you identified early on was a big move, and something probably Gaoth or St. Naomh's needed to do with the likes of Harkin in that first half?
Yeah, I think that's the way it is. Look at the only thing is that when Pater Mogan, Gaoth can afford to mark Pater. Gaoth can afford to actually mark Pater Mogan, and has still have enough players around in that area, Brendan, and everything else. Where you look at it from St. Naomh's point of view, they don't really have enough players. They're trying to get their best players probably on the ball and play and everything else. So it does make a difference. But good tactical, certainly, because Pater Mogan as a player could destroy you if you give him a chance and everything else. So he tried very hard himself from his own point of view and everything else. But it's tough, when you're playing. They have to be marking you, but 3 men and 1 man. When another, from Gaoth's point of view, it's very hard to mark them all. So I think look at St. Naomh's need to just try to stay out of the relegation if they can from their own point of view, and do that and build for other games down the road where Gaoth are looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah. So Martin, just to wrap it up then, this was, I suppose, lovely sunny evening here. We got tiny bits of championship in there. The odd time St. Naomh's kind of went after Gaoth, but Gaoth I think knew they could keep them at arm's length, didn't need to engage in that way. Their kick-outs with McGill-Avregia were first class. Their defensive shape was very good. I say on the ball they were good, and up front, particularly in that first half, they're really ruthless in front of goal as well. So they really, as say McNeil, I think I'll be very happy. Francie Freeland there, of course, coaching as well. That'll be a very happy group. We're looking across there, and for St. Naomh's now, Martin, is it a different proposition to say they were in the last 2 relegations? Is this senior championship, is it a wee bit of a step up for this team, or do you think if they were able to build a bit more into it with county players, as you're saying, in that different type of format, it might suit them better.
Yeah, I think they will improve. I think, in a way they've been unfortunate, because we look at it, we take Naomh Naille and St. Eunice being the two top teams, but you're talking about in the next 3 or 4 teams, both Gaoth and 4 Masters on it. So they've been a wee bit unlucky with the draw. They got a tough couple of draws. They're hoping to get maybe what they would call an easier draw against a team, other teams that's down there, so that they could feel that they could beat, or a 50-50 game against them and everything else. So I think looking going forward from a St. Naomh's point of view, is I feel that from their own point of view, I think it's important that they keep developing and keep going on and looking at if they want to try to win the relegation, because there's a lot of teams there that they would class that they're good enough to beat.
Yeah, good enough, Martin. That's a great wrap up from Park Gaoth Dobhair here. Martin, it's one of them things where it's a tough night at the office for the Northmen. They just got to dust it down and go again. The draws on Highland Radio tomorrow evening for the Gaoth men. They'll be sitting pretty top of the table, and they'll be waiting for a home fixture there. Martin, we've enjoyed the action here today. Thanks so much for joining us. I'll just say the county board, maybe we'll get some team sheets for future games in this streaming. I'll keep me and Martin's job a wee bit easier. So listen, that's a wee request going out there. But for us, for myself and Martin McHugh, thank you so much this evening. That's all us from St. Naomh's, and we'll speak to you at the next streaming game. St. Naomh's looking to stop in a 2-point threat and pack the defence. And Harkin, has he found the range this time? Well, the first one was certainly out there. You
have to Brendan, that's exactly it. There's certain players you can say, let them on the ball, leave them on the ball. That's another great score.
Yeah, Harkin, that's Eamon Collum there. He's on that right hand side up against Niall Prenteville.
That's a great score.
And another score. He's not down as we had 7 here.
He's got it open for the matches.
Yeah, that's it. Good one on the attack now. It's Ethan Harkin. He's in a danger area. There's a potential goal on. He chips the ball when they're breaking into the space, and it's a one-on-one battle here. And Gaoth showing Finn Coyle a clean pair of heels there and dropping the books.
Here they go.
Yeah, indeed. Harkin laying off the ball, and again the strike comes in, Martin, and we had Ethan Harkin coming off the shoulder. He drops, comes back in, and that wand of a left foot, Martin. And then, listen, I said it before the game, a danger man. He's in that same zone again. He fancies it. That's a wee ball inside, back to that man, Finn Coyle.
And number 19, he started the game as well.
Yes. Well, Martin.
Good
there
score.
We have good score coming in there. Maybe create a 2-pot opportunity. He recycles it back this time, and the shot comes in high. And as it tailed, and that's a brilliant 2-pointer there from Joe in behind. Maybe a better marshalled defence of Gaoth's, but leaving Harkin a simple opportunity now to push the ball over the bar. Finney Coyle here, he's coming up, he's one-on-one, and then St. Naomh's defence is stretched. It's a 1-2, back to Coyle on the left foot, simple score.
Particularly the Gaoth team have won a lot, some of them at senior level and more of them at underage level and everything else, and that's another score for
them. Done it for the under-20s in the championship as well. And here we have Ethan Harkin.
Great score.
Another great score from
to run round the corner, Brendan, and has he got it?
He's planted it, yeah.
I think he's planted it.
Yeah. Decided to leave him and give him that extra space. Now he's coming distance, coming range, and he's got the breakaway, and Gaoth in around the back and big.
McWard. Yeah, McWard. Yeah.
Another score.
Here goes Gavin Mulroney with another 2-pointer. He's got it, yeah. Good 2-pointer, but pressure on that
get organised.
Make Gaoth go long. Get his zone, whatever can defend they're doing, get it in, and don't let them get it away.
Apologies, Gallagher. Indeed, fine young player, and great one for the future for Gaoth and Donegal. And there's another one chipped on.
I think they're saying, right, we're going to play on, and that's a great score.
That is some kick by Gavin Mulroney, because he was right out on that right hand sideline.
At Michael Murphy Sports and Leisure, we cater for everyone, from top sporting athletes to relaxed casual sporting individuals and everyone in between. We also provide a large range of teamwear services and cater for schools and clubs. Orders can be customised to your specification to suit your individual needs. From clothing to equipment, we've got you covered.